Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another Screw Toy action figure review. And today we'll be looking at the Medicom toys, Mafex, X-Force, Deadpool, and Wolverine. And I'm very excited to review these figures for you guys. I'm sorry for the very late review on these two. I ordered these about 2 weeks ago, sent the payment, and Ami just did not ship them out for 2 weeks until yesterday. They shipped them out, using DHL, and I got them today. DHL works miracles. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do, shipping a toy from Japan to Houston overnight, but hey, again, they work miracles. But getting a quick look at the packaging, you do get a very nice window here in the center that shows the product and all the accessories that it comes with. You get the very nice comic panels right there. You get Deadpool, you get Wolverine, Marvel 6-inch, 172, 171. You get Wolverine and Deadpool, some product shots right there that do look nice. You get the name of the characters, Deadpool, Wolverine, X-Force, Marvel, Mafex, Medicom toys. On the side, you get some promotional images of the figures and some comic art right there and the X-Men logo. On the back, you get a whole bunch of more promotional art and all the accessories that come with these figures. You get some very nice little onomatopoeias like skink with the claws of Wolverine. You get Wolverine, X-Force, Mafex number 171, Deadpool, X-Force, Mafex 172. On the bottom, you get a whole bunch of bullshit, but you do get the holographic stickers to show this figure is authentic. On the sides, you get some more promotional images and the name of the characters. And you also get these little QR stickers that you could scan with your smartphone to see if this figure is authentic or not. But again, nice packaging, typical Mafex packaging that we've seen plenty of times. Let's crack these bad boys open. And here we have Wolverine and all the accessories that he does come with. In typical Mafex fashion, we do get the Mafex stand with the little new accessories they've been including, like the rod that goes into the base, the little crotch grabber, and this little clamp that falls apart fairly easy. I'm not a big fan of this clamp. You also do get the little pamphlet that shows that you can download a app on your smartphone to scan that QR code on the side of the box to see if your figure is authentic or not. And then the accessories that actually go on the figure. This is it. You get 3 hands and 3 heads. I don't know what else they could have included with this figure. I think this is plenty. This is pretty much the basic necessities that we need with a Mafex figure of Wolverine. Yeah, man, I don't know what else they're going to include it. Maybe an unmasked head, but we got, I think, 2 of those now with the brown suit and the tiger stripes. So, I don't know, some more accessories would have been nice, like some slashing effects, but yeah, I don't know what else they could have included other than that. But getting a quick look at all the accessories, you do get 3 heads. Again, you got a very neutral, stern-looking Wolverine. Logan's always in a bad mood, so you won't see him smile too often. But this one does look good. Again, very stern. You also do get a very pissed off Logan. So getting a quick look at this one. It looks nice, man. I like the flesh tone. The red eyes are, they're pretty dope. I like it that they're not white. It's a little bit different than what we're used to, seeing red eyes in the comic characters. Not very common. You do get the stitch lines sculpted on there. If I can get it to focus. There we go. I also like that the wings don't flare out as much. They're a little bit more subtle. The teeth look nice, the tongue looks nice, and the back of the mouth is painted black. And then you also do get a gritting teeth Wolverine. Again, similar to what we just saw, except his mouth is not fully opened. And I don't know if it's just me, but I see a little bit of stubble right there on the chin. But yeah, getting a look at the hands, you do get a pair of fists. So those do look nice. You also do get a pair of open, relaxed hands. Let me get him to stand. Come on, man, stand. Okay, we'll just move him to the side. You do get a pair of open, relaxed hands, as you can see right there. And then you get a pair of his clawing hands. And these look nice, man. I really like the metallic paint on this claws. They're not as exaggerated as the tiger stripe Wolverine. I will compare them here in a minute. They're a little bit more subtle. They're not as big or long. They do have a little bit of a curve to them, so I do like that. Again, the long tiger stripe Wolverine claws never bothered me. People say it's unrealistic, that it's too long, they don't fit in his forearms. I say he is a comic character that's fictional. He has claws coming out of his hands, guys. Come on. Logic doesn't apply to comic characters, but yeah, I do like these claws. Now getting a quick look at a Wolverine himself. Getting a close-up look at the head sculpt again. Again, I do like it. I like that the wings are not as big And again, just not as big. They're a little bit more subtle. Moving down to the body, I do like it quite a bit. It's a little bit more different than what we're used to seeing Wolverine. This actually looks like fabric stretched over a body and not a skin tight costume. I do like the shiny black that they added and the little bit more matte gray paint that they added to the outside of the costume. His belt looks nice. You get a whole bunch of pouches. And then you get the X right there, painted red and black. And then his arms look good. You get a little bit of stubble right there on his arms, if I can get it to focus. Some little arm hair right there going on. Moving down to the legs. Looks good. Get some silver in those buckles in the boots. Yeah, man, not much to this Wolverine. He is pretty simple, but it does the job of having a X-Force Wolverine. Getting a quick look at his articulation. He can look up a fair amount as you get the dumbbell joint connected to that separate neck piece, so he can look up a fair amount. He can look down all the way. You get great head pivoting, so you get some attitude in those headshots. You get a butterfly joint that shifts all the way back, all the way forward. So putting those two together, damn, that looks good. You get a upper bicep swivel, and the bicep doesn't fall off like his first figure of Wolverine, the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, was notorious to have loose biceps that pop off. And actually, now that I've turned it, you get some shadowing effect in those bicep muscles. And yeah, I kind of like that. I'm digging that. You get a little bit of a different tone of skin color there and those creases to give it a shadow effect. But he does have double jointed elbows to bend in just about 90, as he does have a very big bicep. And then you do get the ball joint at the wrist, so they can hinge up and down or side to side, depending on how you have that little ball configured. You get a diaphragm cut here in the center, and he can pivot. Ooh, that's a great amount to the sides. So just a diaphragm cut itself, he can move a great amount, and he can go that much back with just the upper diaphragm cut. And not much forward, but with the lower waist ball down here, he can go this much forward, that much back, great amount to the sides. And then you do get upper thigh shifting. And the more and more I look at this figure, the more and more I notice the little things like these little wrinkles over the thighs. Those look good, man. Just little subtle details like that make this figure just stand out a little bit more. You know, it's a simple, basic figure, so just, again, those little details make a big difference. As you can see some of the fabric right there as well, bunching up right there. And then you get double jointed knees to bend in a great amount. And then you get a ball joint at the ankle that moves this much forward, that much back. He does have ankle pivot, and you do get treads at the bottom of the feet, but you also do get toe articulation. And here we have Deadpool and all his accessories. And like Wolverine, you do get the little pamphlet and the Mafex stand. So nothing new there. But you do get a whole bunch of accessories for Deadpool. Some things I wish we would have got, but we'll get to that here in a second. As you can see, he comes with 4 different head sculpts. The one that came straight out the packaging is a very neutral looking head sculpt. Not much emotion in that head. You do get a little bit slightly angrier Wade right here. As you can see, he doesn't look too happy. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you see my nails are a bit dirty, that is because I was doing yard work right before recording this video. Sorry, I should have tried to clean them a little bit better, but just an FYI. And then you also do get a more surprise looking Wade. As you know, something startled him, something caught him off guard. That does look good. And then you get a happy Wade, man. As you know, Deadpool is a very happy, smart ass, witty character. Moving those heads to the side, you do get 7 pairs of hands. You get a pair of fists, as you can see there. You get a pair of open, calm hands with the index and middle finger kind of sticking out a bit. You get a pair of trigger finger hands, and this is where I say that he's kind of missing some things. He's missing guns, man. I really do think some guns should have been included with this figure. So yeah, we have a pair of trigger finger hands, but no guns. We get a pair of pointer finger hands. So, you know, you can be pointing at Wolverine or laughing at someone and pointing at them. You get a pair of open, splayed out hands. So fully open palmed hands. You get a pair of thumbs up hands, or, you know, like, hey, look at me. Looking. So these are cool. And then you get a pair of katana holding hands, as you can see. So what those katana holding hands are for, these katanas, as you can see right there, they do look nice. I really like that silver plastic for the actual blade, and then the I forgot what this part is called. There's a specific word for this. You guys let me know in the comments down below, but I know there's a specific name for this part. And then the handle is a different shade of black, and then this part right here is the same color as this. So these do look good. On the back of his little holster, his katana holster, these are just a simple little handle that sticks in there, similar to what we saw with Psylocke. Don't know why they don't just, you know, allow these to fit in there, but it is what it is. But yeah, man, getting a close look at Wade himself, this figure is very nice, man. I really love the sculpt. I love the paint. I love the articulation. Everything about this figure is just great. One thing I want to ask Mafex to do, please give us this figure in red. I know we already got a classic looking Deadpool, but I would really love a Deadpool in this exact body mold. Maybe a different little logo right there, not the X-Men logo, but this exact body mold in red. I would love a Deadpool in this body. I think it's just by far superior to what we got originally. I don't have that Deadpool, but just looking at pictures, this figure is just automatically better. But that figure did come back out in 2019, 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Again, let's get a closer look at this head sculpt. I like it quite a bit, man. Those little triangle or diamond shape right there for the eyes. I love that matte black in there. That red, similar to Wolverine's. That seam line that runs through the whole head sculpt. You can kind of see his ears poking out right there, so I love that little subtle detail. This little piece right here in the neck, his little choker, neck choker, is a separate piece. So when you're swapping out the heads, be careful, because I popped it off and it flew off and I couldn't find it. And then the little harness, the holster for his katanas, is a separate floating piece. You can remove that if you want. You just pop off the arms and the head, slips right over. That does look nice. Again, I really love that matte black, man. Something about matte black on a figure just looks good. That gray, that matte gray just looks amazing. You get these little separate floating pieces as well on his wrist, so be careful when you're swapping that out. The belt is a fixed, no, actually it's a separate floating piece as well. Is it attached in the back? Oh no, it's attached in the back. So the front is movable, but the back, it's glued on there. And then the holsters on his legs, right here on his thigh, are molded onto the figure or glued on, so you can't really move those. And then these right here are sculpted onto the figure. So I don't know why they didn't do that to the wrist, because I'm scared I'm going to lose those. But yeah, these are sculpted onto the actual figure. But as you can see, the belt is nicely done. I know a lot of people were getting this belt kind of defective, where the X was kind of like crooked. Mine seems to be okay. You get some silvers in there. The rest of it is a weird looking brown, kind of like a purplish brownish kind of hoop. Actually, what's going on here? Oh, it just untabbed. That's strange. Well, maybe you can remove it by untabbing it. Let me see if I can tab it back in. Ooh. So you can tab that back in, but it's fairly loose. Let me see if I can remove it. Ugh. So removing the arms. As you can see, it just slips over his head. But yeah, I didn't know that untabbed right there. So let me see if I can put that back on. I don't like that. This is very thin. Very thin. So I'm going to see if I can glue that on later. I'm going to break that. Let me do it off camera real quick. Okay, so yeah, that tab is definitely not supposed to untab. It was definitely glued down. For some reason, mine started coming undone. And as well as this side, I did glue it back down. Hopefully it doesn't come back off. That would be very unfortunate, because then it would rip. I did get a little bit of super glue right here on one of the katana holders, but nothing too noticeable. I don't know if y'all can see it even on camera, but did get some super glue on my finger, unfortunately. So I'm going to be scrubbing that off for a couple of days. But just overall, man, this figure is very nice. Unfortunately, I did get a little QC issue with those katana holders. I'm not going to be messing around with it too much, so hopefully it doesn't break on me. But overall, man, a very, very solid figure. I don't have a Mafex Deadpool. Maybe that's why I like it so much. But I don't know, man. Something about this figure just feels like high quality. It might be the matte finish on this figure. But yeah, big fan of this figure, man. Now getting a quick look at the articulation. Same setup as most Mafex figures. You got a dumbbell joint and a separate neck piece that plugs into the body. And you can move the head moving up that much, but then that little choker starts right up because it pushes on the back. But he can look up a decent amount. He can look down a decent amount. That choker does kind of hinder back and forth. So if you want to take that off, you can. You get some head pivoting, so you get some great attitude shots. You get some butterfly joints to shift a little bit back, a little bit forward. Not much movement out of those butterfly joints, unfortunately. You do get upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows to bend in a just 90, actually, just about 90. So not much range out at those arms. You get a ball joint at the wrist. It is actually nicely hidden by those little cuffs right there, so it can move up and down, side to side, depending on how you have that ball configured. You get an upper diaphragm cut that moves a decent amount to the side, a decent amount to this side, good amount forward, not much back. And then with the ball joint at the waist, he can move this much forward and a great amount back, and then a great amount side to side. He is a little bit stiff, so I do need to drop some shock oil in some of those joints. Don't want to break this figure. Again, I do like it quite a bit, so yeah, maybe adding some oil to the joints will help a little bit, but just my recommendation. I use this right here. It's called Team Loose Racing Shock Oil. So really good for Mafex joints. The Wolverine wasn't tight at all, so I'm not going to be adding any shock oil to him. The Storm that I just recently reviewed, she wasn't tight at all. But actually not some, but most of my Mafex figures I do put shock oil. I didn't put any in Storm. Again, I don't think she needed it, but this guy definitely needs it. You get upper thigh shifting. You get a double jointed knee. And then you get ball joints at the ankle that move this much forward, that much back. You get ankle pivot, treads at the bottom of the feet, and toe articulation. Now getting a quick look at some size comparisons. Here we have Deadpool and Wolverine next to all the other X-Men Mafex figures I have in my collection. I am missing Psylocke. I will get her back in my collection soon. Sold her off a while back. Regretted it instantly. But yeah, all these together look absolutely beautiful. And here we have the Mafex Tiger Stripe Wolverine. And as you can see, man, these two are drastically different. The cows are completely different. As you can see, this one flares out a lot more over here in the ear compared to this short cow over here. The claws are completely different. As you can see, they're a lot shorter compared to these long straight claws that we got, and these have a little bit more of a curve to them. But yeah, man, I do like, having a variety of different Wolverines in my collection. I obviously love this one a lot more, as this is a classic Tiger Stripe Wolverine. And but this one looks good. And as I was saying earlier, you can see that this one is a lot more of a skin tight costume compared to this one being cloth over body. But yeah, man, together they look good. You're obviously not going to have them on the shelf together, but yeah, I love having these two. Here they are next to the Marvel Select Apocalypse and the Marvel Legends 2-pack Juggernaut. And last but not least, here we have them next to the Mafex Classic Spider-Man and the 20th Anniversary Marvel Legends Captain America. And there you have it, some solid releases by Medicom Toys. No real complaints other than the holster kind of breaking on Deadpool and Wolverine kind of lacking accessories. One thing that I did not point out throughout the whole review is that the shades of gray on these two figures are two completely different grays. As you can see, Deadpool's is a little bit more lighter, actually a lot more lighter, compared to Wolverine's. He's a lot more darker. That's a bit odd, as you know, these two figures are meant to be paired together. Oh, that's what I took from it, as they came out in the same month. They were announced around the same time, and they're wearing X-Force uniforms, so they should be matching. So it's kind of weird that the grays are completely different. I wonder if we'll be getting any more X-Force figures here in the future. which will kind of be odd if we don't, as you know, why would they just give us Deadpool and Wolverine? I mean, they do look good together just by themselves, but still, I feel like we need the whole roster. We're still working on the Jim Lee roster, so hopefully we can finish that off and then maybe go on to the X-Force like Cable, maybe get a Bishop, you know, the rest of the cast. But yeah, man, solid figures again, very minor complaints. The holster breaking on me was a little bit unfortunate, and the lack of accessories with Wolverine again is, you know, a bit annoying, but I just don't know what else they would have included, man. Maybe a non-masked Logan head sculpt, but we have that. Some more hands would have been nice. Some slash effects I think would be amazing, kind of what like Mezco did. That would be pretty dope. But overall, solid figures, man. No real major complaints. Deadpool is by far the most favorite figure of these two, like by far. Like he's just really fun. The fun factor on that figure is amazing. I'm begging Medicom to please re-release this figure in red, man. I really want that Deadpool in red. I know we got the classic Deadpool a few years back, actually quite a few years back now. I think that was again 2019, 2018 when we got that figure. But this body mold is just by far superior. It just feels like better quality, man. Yeah, just a really dope figure. But enough of me rambling on, man. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below if you'll be picking these up or if you'll be passing on them, as we do have 2 previous Wolverines and a previous Deadpool. This is not for everybody, man. If you're an X-Force fan, then obviously pick these up. Yeah, these are just great figures and really fun. But yeah, man. Again, follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The links to all those are in the description down below. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.